Council, I do call our meeting to order for Monday, May the 13th, 2019, as a special session. It is 9 a.m. In just a moment, after I read this statement, we will convene into executive session. Pursuant to the following designated section of the Texas Government Code, annotated Chapter 551, Texas Open Meeting Act, the council will convene into executive session to discuss the following. A, personnel matters to discuss or deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, resignation, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, and Section 551071 under subsection 2, consultation with attorney to consult with its attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Attorney Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act. Item 1, Simon Whiting, who has been an attorney doing consultation with us, and item 2 is that we're discussing the separation agreement with Town Manager Class. As part of this process, we're going to convene into executive session for a few minutes to review the last few items that council may want to discuss, and then we will come back into regular session before we take any action. It is 9:01. We are in executive session. It is 9:26, and we will reconvene into regular session. Item 2, consider and take appropriate action regarding the executive session. Do we have anybody wishing to make a motion? If not, I will move that we approve the voluntary separation agreement and general release between the town of Trophy Club and Thomas M. Class effective today. Do I get a second?
Second.
Do you have a second? So I made the motion. Alicia Fleury made the second. As
Speak out about it, please.
all right, go ahead.
Have our button, sorry.
No.
I'll be voting against the motion. If the town wishes to separate from the town manager, there's a clause in the contract that he agreed to and 3 of the members of this current council agreed to. And I think the language in the contract is very clear, and that's the direction that the council should be taking. And yeah, I will be voting against this.
All right. Terms of the agreement call for me to read Exhibit A and Exhibit B of the separation agreement. Exhibit A says, Thomas M. Class Sr. served the residents, council, and staff of the Trophy Club Town Manager from January 30th, 2017 to May 13, 2019, and worked diligently to manage town operations and ensure that Trophy Club maintained its standing as a premier residential community and a great place to call home. At all times, Mr. Class promoted a culture exemplified by institutional integrity, maximum transparency, effective communications, fiscal discipline, and personal accountability, which resulted in the provision of exceptional customer service and the delivery of qualifiable results. During his tenure, Mr. Class completed a reorganization of the town's command structure, implemented a merit-based evaluation system tied to a comprehensive strategic plan, coordinated all aspects of the town hall construction project, managed the implementation of the TC Alerts notification system, oversaw the issuance of a $4.5 million bond for designated capital improvements projects, and promoted fiscal discipline, resulting in budget savings of $1,122,222 over a 2-year period while reducing property tax rates. Under Mr. Class's leadership and direction, the police department received a first-ever fully accredited rating by the Texas Police Chief Associations and achieved a #1 ranking in the SafeWise 50 Safest Cities in Texas evaluation. The fire department procured grant funding for the town-wide installation of AED devices and achieved a fire response dollar value to dollar saved percentage of 86.69%, well above the 54.7% national average. Additionally, During Mr. Class's tenure, the town achieved a #1 ranking in the Home Snacks 10 Best Places to Live in Fort Worth Suburbs and a #6 ranking in the 10 Best Places to Live in Texas evaluations. Mr. Class served the town of Trophy Club with great honor, integrity, and decency, and the town council appreciates his efforts and wishes him well in all future endeavors. Exhibit B, Statement of Findings. After adequate investigation of the facts, the council of the town of Trophy Club has made the following determinations with respect to the town manager, Mr. Thomas Class. Mr. Class was specifically asked by one council member to examine town emails and records to determine whether Old Town Development, OTD, had sold property covered by the Economic Development Agreement among the town, OTD, the Tax Increment Zone, and the Economic Development Corporation Development Agreement, and whether OTD complied with the notice requirements of the development agreement. The examination was conducted by the town staff, and Mr. Class planned to present the results at an executive session of the council on March 26, 2019. But circumstances that at that meeting did not permit him to do so. Mr. Class presented the results in an email to the council members dated Thursday, March 28, 2019 at 9:52 a.m., which indicated the property included in the development agreement had been sold by OTD without notice to the town as required by the development agreement. As consequences of such lack of notice and an email from the council member to OTD representatives on the town email server indicated a probable conflict of interest involving a council member, a rumor was later circulated that the date of the council member's email had been changed, but it had not been changed and the rumor was untrue. This will confirm that, one, Mr. Class was not misrepresented, has not misrepresented, falsified, altered, distorted, or lied in any document, report, or statement, be it written or verbal, to the town or its council members at any time. Two, he has not falsified or misrepresented any information to the town or its council members in connection with the dates in the result email or in any other documents or statements made to the council members in connection with the results of council member email described in it. Three, he has acted truthfully and appropriately in his dealings with communications with the council and OTD representatives in connection with its investigations and communications to the town and its council members regarding the results and the matters described in the results final. And four, to the knowledge of the town and its council members, Mr. Class has consistently acted within the scope of his authority and has fulfilled his duties and responsibilities of the office of town manager consistent with his contract and town policy.
Mayor?
Yes,
One more
Eric.
question. Can you read into the record the amount of the separation payment?
Sure.
So page 1, item 2.
Item number 2, it says separation payment. On or before 5 p.m. on May 13, 2019, employer shall pay and deliver to class a settlement sum in the amount of $400,000 settlement payment comprised as follows. The settlement payment will be paid by employer to class, less only those employment taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and deductions for other withholdings that employer is required by law to withhold, in the form of a check made payable to class, and the above withheld amounts will be paid directly to employer to the appropriate parties. Class will be directly paid the above base pay and vacation time amounts less appropriate applicable taxes and withholdings. The amounts paid pursuant to this Section 2 are paid to class as a compromise and settlement of any and all claims of class arising from contract. Class specifically agrees that he will not negotiate such check until after 7-day revocation period in Section 8B below has expired, and that he will not negotiate such check in an event that he has exercised his right to revoke this agreement. And that's it.
I would like to speak to the motion, too.
All right.
As would I.
Alicia?
My vote will be, I'm not going to say what my vote is now, but my vote will be based upon all the facts not just a select few. It won't be based upon second, third, fourth, or fifth-hand information. It will be based upon first-hand information received from all parties involved. It won't be based upon false assumptions, innuendos, and certainly not what you read on Facebook. My vote will be based on doing what's best for this town, not only, most importantly, financially and legally, but also morally. And I think it's important to consider all the variables and not just certain clauses that are moot at this point, and do what's best for the town. And that's how my vote is going to be, what is best for this town and our residents. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lamont, you have the floor.
As one of my last days on council, I would normally abstain from voting for a $400,000 expense and not burden the incoming council with it. However, based upon a conversation that you, Mr. Mayor, have had with the two new incoming council members, I am concerned that they will not listen to our employment attorney and vote to fire the town manager. Our employment attorney has warned this council that the firing of the town manager would be considered as retaliatory and would add a significant amount of penalties and punitive damages, which could result in a lawsuit of $3 to $4 million plus legal fees, could easily escalate to $300,000 to $400,000. That burden to the taxpayers is too much to allow me to abstain, and therefore I will vote for the separation agreement.
All right. So I have a statement that I'm,
Oh, one more thing, I apologize. Tom, personally, you're a good person with a great reputation. I'm sorry to see you go. You've done a lot for this town, and I think in the end, you will be proven right. Thank you.
all right, so I have a statement that I'm going to read after we vote, just to the citizens of Trophy Club. All right, anybody else want to make a statement before we vote? All those in favor of approving the separation agreement and with its general release, show your hands. All opposed, same sign. It does pass. Councilmember Jensen voting against. This process of working on a separation agreement with Mr. Class has been a long and difficult process for Mr. Class, the council, town staff, and our citizens. Some may question some of the terms and specifics of the agreement without understanding all the legal aspects of the employment agreement the town had with Mr. Class and the existence of several years of employee reviews where Mr. Class had the total support of the council and, in fact, gave salary increases along with quarterly informal reviews. In addition, the fact that Mr. Class filed a whistleblower hostile workplace letter with the council, our process and ability to negotiate was overshadowed by the laws that protect the rights of the employee. Even after there was an examination of his employment agreement as related to termination with cause, the majority of council did not find cause to proceed down that path. During this process, it became apparent that comments made on social media with only part of the facts were at times derogatory and damaging to Mr. Class. At times, these comments were damaging to how the council worked and caused further division among the council. These negative comments made previously caused it more difficult in our negotiations. I do request that our citizens use the next few weeks to reflect on these actions and to try to keep our social media comments on a positive note. It's time to move forward in a positive way so our town can attract a new town manager and go through a process of healing and reconciliation with the sole purpose of keeping Trophy Club a great place to call home. Thank you. It is 9:39. We are adjourned.